You know that woman who walks into a place and everyone automatically thinks she has class? The one who doesn't need to wear giant brand logos, doesn't need to shout. But even so, you look at her and think, wow, this woman has money. Well, I discovered the secret. And it has nothing to do with how much she spent on clothes. It has to do with an invisible code that people's brains read in less than 3 seconds. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how this code works. I'm going to teach you 7 tricks about color combinations that will make you look like a woman of another financial level. So come with me, because today you're going to discover the secret 3-color code. Trick 1, the luxury landscape hack. Look, I'm going to tell you something. You're probably choosing your colors completely wrong. And it's not your fault, okay? We grew up learning that color wheel thing in school, right? Red with blue, yellow with whatever. And then we think we're killing it combining red, blue, and yellow in the same look. But you know what happens? We end up looking like a school uniform. Or worse, cheap fast fashion. The problem is that these primary combinations we learn are way too childish. They don't convey any sophistication at all. So listen to this, because this is going to change everything for you. There's a technique that high-end image consultants use called the landscape hack. And it's so simple you'll wonder why nobody ever told you this before. It works like this. Close your eyes for a second and imagine an extremely luxurious setting. Could be the lobby of those 5-star hotels in Dubai, you know? Those with marble, fine wood, everything gleaming. Or imagine the interior of one of those collector's sports cars with caramel leather seats, chrome details. Or a huge yacht anchored in the French Riviera. Could you visualize it? Great. Now comes the magic. You're going to extract the 3 main colors from that mental image. Let me give you practical examples. The 5-star hotel you imagined, it has cream marble, dark wood like coffee brown, and those gold metals in the details, right? The luxury car interior, caramel from the leather, matte black from the dashboard, and brushed silver in the details. And the yacht on the Riviera, deep navy blue from the sea, cream from the sails and sand, and caramel from the fine wood of the deck. Now pay attention to what happens. The human brain is already programmed by media, movies, all of history, to associate these exact colors with wealth, stability, and power. When you leave the house wearing the color palette of a high-status environment, people around you instantly transfer that status to you. Without you needing to say a word, without any logos, just from the color combination. It's like a secret code that people's subconscious reads automatically. And look, if you're enjoying these tips, subscribe to the channel and leave the bell activated, because every week I bring tricks like this that will elevate your wardrobe to another level. Trick 2, the scenery proportion. Now you already know how to choose the right 3 colors, right? But there's a mistake that destroys everything. And I see this happening all the time. The woman learns the landscape trick, chooses navy, cream, and caramel. But then she uses all 3 colors in equal amounts. Like a cream top, navy pants, a caramel bag, all with the same visual weight. And you know what happens? The look gets heavy. It gets full of color blocks that cut the silhouette, especially for us more mature women. And worse, it loses that naturalness that makes all the difference. So come with me, because I'm going to teach you the exact proportion you need to use. Go back to that luxury setting you imagined. Think about its architecture. The lightest color is the entire space, right? The walls, the environment itself. The dark color is the furniture, right? And the warm, vibrant color is just a detail here and there. So this is how you're going to apply it to your body. 60% of your look is your wall, the base color. 30% is your furniture, the secondary color. And 10% is your chandelier, the accent color. And you know why this works so well? Because you're not inventing fashion, you're imitating the proportion that already exists in nature, in the architecture of beautiful places. The human eye is already accustomed to this harmony. You project that image of a woman who understands design, symmetry, harmony, a refined woman. Let me show you how to apply this in practice. The 60%, the light base. This is your backdrop. Wear palazzo pants and a silk blouse, both in the exact same cream color. Everything off-white. This creates a continuous column of light that instantly slims and elongates the silhouette. The 30%, the depth. Here comes the scenery's furniture. Throw on top a well-structured blazer in navy blue. The dark coat on the sides will cut the body's volume, framing that cream light and bringing sophisticated weight to the look. The 10%, the luxury detail. And now comes the final touch. Add a structured handbag in caramel leather. It's that isolated point of color that warms the look and brings the richness of wood and natural leather without polluting your image. Look at the difference it makes. It's the same color combination, but with the right proportion, the effect is completely different. Trick 3, the time filter. And now comes something that a lot of people get wrong. A lot. You learn the landscape trick. Choose a rich setting. Let's say a classic theater with those beautiful red seats. So you go to the store and buy a red blouse. But here's the thing. You buy a bright red, open almost neon. And then, done. You just threw all the elegance in the trash. You know why? Because colors that are too bright, too vibrant, too artificial, they scream fast fashion. They cheapen the image immediately. So listen to me well. The colors of high-status environments are never too vibrant. Never. They always seem to have a time filter, a natural patina. They're deep and slightly muted, desaturated. The green isn't neon, it's olive green. The red isn't tomato, it's wine or dark cherry. The yellow isn't highlighter, it's mustard or burnt gold. See the difference, and look at the psychological effect of this. People's brains automatically associate these deep, closed, kind of dusty tones with history, heritage, noble and expensive fabrics, like pure silk, real natural linen, high-quality wool. When you wear the desaturated version of your palette, you project an image of mature, unshakable sophistication. It's that old money thing, you know? You don't need to prove anything to anyone. And tell me in the comments, had you noticed this? That truly elegant women wear more closed, deeper colors? Comment below. Trick 4, the architectural finish. Now pay close attention to this trick, because this is a fatal mistake I see beautiful women making every single day. You choose your 3 colors carefully. Let's say beige, navy blue, and red as an accent. You put the whole look together correctly with the proportions I taught you. But then you add a red bag, which would be your 3rd color, right? But it has a giant gold buckle. Or you put on a belt with silver details. Or throw on a bronze metal necklace. And done. You're no longer using 3 colors. You're using 4 or 5 different colors. And this completely breaks the status code, pollutes the entire look. Most women think jewelry, buckles, bag chains are invisible, that they don't count. But they do, and a lot. So come with me, because I'm going to teach you the master trick to never get this wrong again. Transform the metal itself, gold, brushed silver, or bronze, into your official 3rd color, into your 10% accent. Look how it works. If your look has only 2 colors in fabrics, let's say everything cream with a coffee brown coat, your 3rd color will be exclusively the golden shine. The gold of your watch, of your classic hoops, of the belt buckle, and that's it. Nothing more. No other metals, no other shine. And you know what effect this causes? In real luxury environments, shine is used with extreme restraint, only to illuminate strategic points. When you use metal as the only contrast color on your body, your sophistication level goes through the roof. People process this detail as the height of elegance, of aristocratic perfectionism. It's that less is more thing taken to the extreme. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the perfect moment, because I'm going to keep bringing tricks at this level here for you every week. Hit that bell. Before we move on to the next trick, have you ever had that awful feeling of opening your closet and feeling like you have absolutely nothing to wear? To solve this, I created a guide where I show how, with just 15 pieces, you can create more than 150 elegant looks. These are combinations that make people turn their heads to look at you. Inside, you'll also discover techniques to look visually slimmer and taller, plus specific styling tricks to soften fuller arms, wider hips, or a more generous bust. The link to download the guide is in the pinned comment and in the description. Now let's move on to the next trick. And if you're watching on TV, just scan the QR code that appears on the screen or in the corner of the video. Trick 5. Try the Riviera Resort. Look, now that you know all the fundamentals, let me show you ready-made looks you can copy. And this first one, here, is my absolute favorite. The inspiration? A luxury yacht anchored on the European coast. Those images you see on Instagram and think, my God, what a life. So let's put it together. The 60%, the wall, linen palazzo pants, and a fluid silk blouse, both exactly in cream color, off-white. This creates that continuous column of light that elongates the legs impressively. The 30%, the furniture, an impeccable tailored blazer in navy blue. And look at the important detail. The shoe, a classic loafer, matches the cream of the pants. Why? So it doesn't cut off the foot, doesn't break that elongated line. The 10%, the chandelier, a structured handbag in smooth leather in warm caramel. Not too big, not too small, just enough to be a point of interest. And now comes the psychological effect. The combination of cream, navy, and caramel is the gold standard of classic elegance. Seriously, it's recognized worldwide as synonymous with good taste. The caramel of the bag doesn't scream for attention, it just whispers quality. It's an aristocratic look that exudes that calm of someone who has an extremely comfortable life under control. You know that energy of, I'm not in a hurry, I don't need to prove anything. That's exactly it. This look works for business lunch, dinner at a chic restaurant, daytime event. It's extremely versatile. Trick 6. Try the classic sports look. And now comes that trick I promised at the beginning. Trick number 6. This one's what image consultants charge fortunes to teach. The inspiration? The interior of a British collector's sports car, those classic cars worth millions. Let's put it together. The 60%, the wall. A midi dress in tailoring with a straight cut, entirely in matte black. No shine, not too much texture, just the elegance of pure matte black. The 30%, the furniture. And here comes the twist, an elongated trench coat in warm caramel, like toffee. That classic overcoat that never goes out of style. The shoe, a pointed toe pump, and the bag match the absolute black of the dress. The 10%, the chandelier. And now pay attention, because this is where the magic of trick 4 lives. There's no third fabric color. 0. Your 10% is formed exclusively by antiqued gold metal. This translates to the shine of your wristwatch, a pair of smooth hoop earrings, the buckle of a thin belt marking the waist over the black dress. And that's it. Nothing more. The psychological effect of this is devastating. By isolating metal as the only color of contrast against the neutral tones of black and caramel, you project a corporate, executive, unshakable image. You show a level of perfectionism and attention to detail that literally hypnotizes whoever looks. It's that woman who enters a meeting and everyone automatically respects, without her needing to speak loudly, without her needing to assert herself. The image already did all the work. This look is perfect for evening events, important dinners, high-level meetings, any situation where you need to make that impeccable impression. And tell me, have you used metal as an accent color? Comment below if you're going to test this. Trick 7. Try the Heritage Winery look. And to close with a bang, I'm going to show you a look that's for the woman who wants to convey that energy of command, of CEO, of someone who calls the shots. The inspiration? A private club or a centuries-old winery. Those places where you need an invitation to enter. Let's go. The 60%, the wall, straight-cut tailored pants, and a turtleneck top, both in charcoal gray. And look how interesting. Charcoal is the neutral that replaces black, but with much more sophistication and modernity. The 30%, the furniture, a long wool overcoat or a tweed coat in deep wine. Like Bordeaux or Marsala, that dark, rich wine that seems to have history. The shoe and bag match the charcoal gray of the base. The 10%, the chandelier, a thin, smooth leather belt marking the waist in coffee brown, chocolate. Now notice something. This look doesn't have any light color, 0. And yet it's extremely feminine, extremely sophisticated. Because deep, dusty, desaturated colors like these, they're the secret uniform of women in high command positions. They slim the silhouette the same way black slims, but they prove you have a visual vocabulary of the highest level. That you don't need the basic little black because you know much more interesting alternatives. It's a silent declaration of power. This look is ideal for corporate events, talks where you're the speaker, board meetings, any place where you need to enter, and people automatically think this woman is in control. And don't forget, you don't need a closet full of clothes to be elegant. You just need strategy. If you want to learn how to turn 15 pieces into over 150 elegant looks, the link to my complete guide is right below in the pinned comment. Download it and stop struggling in front of the mirror. And if you're watching on TV, just scan the QR code that appears on the screen or in the corner of the video. So did you like today's content? If you made it this far, you're already way ahead of most women. Because most don't understand that elegance is a code. It's a visual language that people's brains read instantly. And now you know this code. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because next week I'm going to teach you how to choose the right cut of each piece to enhance exactly your body type. And believe me, this will multiply the effect of everything you learned today. And tell me in the comments, which of these looks are you going to test first? The Riviera Resort, the Classic Sports, or the Heritage Winery? Comment below. A big kiss, and see you in the next video.